Peace, peace, peace. What's good? What's good? I don't know who is on the other side of the screen that is needing to receive this reminder that whatever happens, whatever has happened, whatever will happen, whatever may happen, is because it was meant to be that way. Whatever doesn't happen, whatever doesn't end up coming to be, whatever doesn't present itself, what doesn't come, what doesn't get attracted into your life, is because it's not necessarily to say that it wasn't meant to be. It could just be that it's not the right moment. It's not the divine moment. It's not the most resonating moment. It could be that it never does align for different reasons that is none of your business. But what is your business is remaining at peace and the trust and the faith and the knowingness that whatever transpires, there's no good section about it. There's no bad section about it. It is what it is, and it is what it's meant to be for your most greatest good at the end of it, regardless. It doesn't matter how it happens. It doesn't matter when it happens. It doesn't matter what happens, actually. Because whatever happens is all a part of the course. It's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of the scenes. Every single scene is playing out exactly as it's meant to. Every single thing is occurring in the exact moment it's meant to occur at. When we're watching a movie, we're not wondering, oh, what time is it? What's the timestamp? What's the duration that this event happened throughout the movie? Like, we don't care about that. We're just watching the movie and watching the scenes and knowing that every scene that we're watching, even if we don't agree with it, it's leading to something else. The scene is there. It was created for a reason. And we just have to sit tight and continue to be present with whatever it is that we're watching. In this case, just an example of a movie. So that we can end up finding out why whatever scene happened, why it happened, why it needed to happen. And we don't start movies at the end. We don't start movies at the end. I know, even to this day, it's like, I don't like people telling me the end of anything. I don't want to hear it. I can be patient enough to experience it myself without already somebody telling me from their own perception of what they think this movie is, or what they think the storyline is about, or whatever it is. Everyone perceives everything differently, and just because somebody already watched a movie, it doesn't mean that they're gonna tell it to you and explain it to you and tell you the messages that you need to hear like the way that you would receive it if you were the one watching the movie, if you were the one experiencing that story, if you were the one literally having that human experience of whatever it is. The human experience of life, all these different experiences that we grow through, these scenes in our life, they're all serving their purpose, 411. Everything is in synchronicity. Everything is playing out how it's meant to. If something doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen in that moment. It wasn't meant to happen in that way. It wasn't meant to happen for you. Will it ever happen? Maybe. Maybe not. But if it maybe does, it's because it was meant to. And if it maybe does not, it's because it wasn't meant to. And I feel like there's such peace when we can literally align ourselves with that resonance, that everything it's playing out for you how it's meant to, for your most greatest good. Even though if it doesn't seem like it. Even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. Like, think of a movie that has a really happy ending, but it went through some really, really suspenseful scenes along the way. But then you get to the end and it's like, wow, that was so beautiful, the way everything played out and the way this character, and literally the character could be thinking that all these experiences of these scenes are things and life and the universe and people conspiring against them. But in reality, at the end of the movie, you realize that everything was aligning itself perfectly. Every character, even if a character in the movie or in their scene, in the storyline, even if characters were there stabbing their back, even if they had so many people do them wrong, even if their life started out really, really difficult, even if, it doesn't matter of all these even ifs. When you get to the end of the story, you realize and you see how everything was balancing in some way or another. How every character was playing a purpose to strengthen the main character, to strengthen their mind, to tune them and remind them of who they are and their power. It was building this character. It was building the story. It was literally all a part of the story, all a part of the puzzle piece. Every single scene is a puzzle piece, and without one, none of the rest makes total, complete fullness of its sense. You're missing the wholeness of it. So I'm just reminding you right now that it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what does or doesn't. Now or never or ever. Everything is perfect as it does. Everything that happens is perfect as it happens. Everything that doesn't happen is perfectly perfect for it not to happen. And again, sometimes they end up happening, but it's just trusting that everything has a divine moment, everything has a divine resonance to when it's best for something to come to be. And life shows us that when we force things, it just comes out so not that great feeling. Doesn't mean it's bad, it's just another thing, another experience to remind you of something, to remind you to be patient, to remind you to not try to force things, to remind you to let things go, to remind you to choose yourself, to remind you that your peace is the most important and should be above everything and everyone, to remind you to love yourself, to remind you of all these things that sometimes when we're running so far away from this resonance that we balance, that we align in balance with, when we are aligned, it brings these scenes that are difficult to remind us, like, hey, this is who you are, and I'm gonna bring a character in that's going to betray you, that's going to be very dishonest, that's going to deceive you, that is going to show you all these karmic patterns and cycles that you know you don't want to repeat. That's going to teach you to love yourself above everything else. To realign you again. To get you back in center with yourself of who you are and why you came to this life. And why you're even experiencing all these different experiences of scenes and all these characters in your life. So I remind you to take that deep breath and remember that everything truly is perfect. Everything, as much as it may not seem to be perfect, is actually perfectly working out for you. Everything is perfectly working out for you. 0, 4, 3, 2. You're not taking any steps back. You're like a bow and arrow, and I just love using this analogy or this metaphor. You're like a bow and arrow. Sometimes the universe has to pull you back a little bit to be able to launch you to where you yourself want to go and where you want to be, where you're in your most highest timeline. Don't be afraid of being pulled back. You're not being pulled back in any way that's measurable. Measurable in the sense of how society measures, like, oh, you should have already had this, or oh, you should have already been there, or you, I don't know, all of these expectations that really mean nothing. What we should be expecting is to be in line with our peace and our self-love and who we are, and reclaiming our power and honoring our power, honoring our truth of who we are. Allow yourself to be pulled back a little bit. Allow all of these events that happen through the pullback of the arrow. Each pull back is a scene in your life that may be difficult. These things you have to let go of. It's stretching you into this discomfort. But because it's stretching you further than you've been before into an unknown territory, because you have no idea where you're being launched forward, and everything that's preparing you through the step back, through this pull back. All of this is a part of it. You cannot launch an arrow forward without pulling it back, without showing it its strength of how far back it can be pulled. That's you right now. Trust that you have what it takes to pull yourself back. You have that strength, you have that agility, you have that adaptiveness to you. And everything that you're taking with you, these tools that you're packing with you through the process of being pulled back, it's because it's giving you all these tools that you're going to be needing where it is that you're going to end up when you're launched forward. Trust and believe. Trust and believe that everything is always happening and working out for you. And whatever doesn't, trust that that's divine protection, that's divine alignment. It wasn't meant to, maybe not now. And if you're in this energy of allowing and trusting and having full faith, you don't care if it happens later or not, because you trust that if it happens, it was meant to happen. And if it doesn't happen, there's something protecting me or something better coming along. This is the energy that I'm inviting you to be in. Nothing affects you, because you know that everything is perfect the way it's happening, and it's all happening for you, and your greatest good. So why worry? Why stress? Why be tripping on, oh, this didn't happen. Oh, I don't know, like, I'm not with this person. It didn't work out with this person. It wasn't meant to. Maybe not ever. Maybe not now. But trust in the process of what's happening, because you're about to launch forward. This is your reminder. Peace.